Hey Finxters! Today we will be learning how to print colored text in Python. Not only will we be learning how to print colored text, but we will also have a look at how to format text. That is how you can style your text and make it bold, italics, underlined, and so on, and display it in the same way in your output. So without further delay, let us have a look at all the ways which will help us to do so. So the first approach that we will be following is to use a library known as Simple Colors. So Simple Color is a spectacular library in Python that enables you to display colored text in your terminal. Not only does it allow you to display colored text, but it also allows you to format your text as bold, italics, underlined, and so on. So let's have a look at this library. So if we move on to the official documentation, so this is how you can use it. Since it is not a built-in library in Python, hence you first have to go ahead and install it using the pip installer. So this is how you can install it, pip install simple colors. And then this is a sample code which shows how you can use it to play around with your code. Now it includes numerous colors. So as you can see, these are the numerous colors which are included within this library. So you can display your text in any of these colors. It also includes the following styles, that is bold, bright, dim, italic, underline, blink, and reverse. So you can play around with your output text in many ways with the help of this library, and it is very simple to use. So let us go ahead and understand how we can use this with the help of an example. Now, PyCharm is my favorite IDE, so I'll be using PyCharm itself to demonstrate this topic. Since we will be using the simple color library, so we have to first install it using pip. And this is the command that you have to input in your terminal to install it. I have already installed simple colors, hence I'm getting this message, requirement already satisfied. But in your case, if it is not pre-installed, if you go ahead and input this command on your command line, then it will go ahead and install simple color library for you. Well, that was it, how to install simple colors. Now let us go ahead and understand how we can use this library. So our first task is to import simple colors. Let's go ahead and do that. Import simple colors. We have now successfully imported simple colors. Now let's go ahead and understand how we can use this library to display a colored text in our output. So let's use a print statement. Print. Now all you have to do is to use the simple colors library dot and then the name of the color in which you want to display the output text. So let's say that we want to display the output text in the blue color. So simple colors dot blue. And within this, you first have to pass the text. Let's say hello world. So this is the text that we want to display. And then you can also pass any kind of formatting that you want to apply on your text. But for now, let's simply print the colored text. So let's have a look how this looks in our output screen. And there we go. As you can see that we have hello world printed in blue color. Now let's say that we not only want to print hello world in blue color, but we also want to format it and make it bold. So let's use a different print statement for that. And now within this blue function, which is the color of our text, we have to pass another argument, which is nothing but bold itself. So this will inform Python that it has to display the output in blue color and also display it in the bold format. So let's execute this piece of code and find out how it looks. And there we go. As you can see, the second text, it appears in blue color and it is also in bold. Not only can you apply the bold formatting on your text, but you can also make it underlined. So you have to pass another argument for that. So underline. And then if you also want to style your text and make it italics, you can also do that with another argument, which is italic. Now this should not be underlined, this should be underlined. So this is the argument that you have to pass. Since you are applying numerous styles at once on a text, hence you have to put all these arguments as items within a list. So that's how you have to represent the formatting within this color function. Now let's go ahead and execute this piece of code to find out how this looks. And there we go. So as you can see, this is printed in bold, it is underlined, and it is also italic. So this is how you can use the simple colors library to color your text and then format it in whatever way you want. Now, the next package that we will be talking about is TermColor. TermColor is another library in Python that allows you to color your output text and also format it. Let's have a look at its official documentation. So this right here represents the official documentation of the TermColor package. Now, as you can see, this is an example which clearly demonstrates how you can use the TermColor library and use it to display formatted text on your output window. So these are the text properties that are provided by TermColor. So as you can see that it provides a list of 8 colors which you can use, and it also provides different colors which you can use as highlights to your text. That means using these, you can highlight the given text with a background color. It also provides us a list of attributes or formatting styles which are bold, dark, underline, blink, reverse, and concealed. So to better understand this, let's have a look at an example which will make things clear. Now, once again, since TermColor is not a part of Python's built-in library, so you have to install it with the help of the pip installer. So you have to use this command, pip install TermColor. And this will install TermColor for you. Now, since I have already installed TermColor, hence I'm getting this message, requirement already satisfied. But in your case, since you will be installing it for the first time, you'll find that this library gets downloaded and gets installed into your system. Well, let's now go ahead and use it. So in order to use it, you first have to import it. So let's import TermColor. Now actually we have to import the colored module from TermColor. So instead of directly importing TermColor, you can go ahead and from TermColor import colored. So this is the module that will help us to format the given text. Let's use a variable text. And now within text, we will store the following. Let's use the colored module. And within this, let's pass the text that we want to display. So let it be hello world. And now the second attribute that you have to pass to this is the name of the color in which you want the text to appear. So let's say that we want the text to appear in the red color. So red is what you have to pass as a property within the colored object. Okay. Now let's go ahead and let's simply print text and let's find out how it looks. And there we go. As you can see that hello world now appears to be in the red color. Now let's say that we also want it to be bold and underlined. So how are we going to do that? The process is quite similar to what we learned previously. You have to go inside colored and then use this property which is attributes attrs, which will help us to define all the attributes that we want to add to our text. And the attributes that we want to our text is bold, and we also want to underline it. So underline, and that's it. So now let's go ahead and execute this piece of code to find out how it looks. And there we go. As you can see that now the text not only appears in red color, but it is also in bold and it is also underlined. That's amazing, isn't it? So this is how you can use the colored library to format the given text. Before we proceed to the next library, if you remember, I also told you that you can add a background color to this text. So let's say we want to add a yellow background to this text. So all you have to do is go inside colored and add another argument which is on yellow. So this will inform Python that we want to highlight our output text with a yellow background. Now let's execute this once again. And there we go. As you can see that we have now successfully highlighted our output text. So please feel free to have a look at the entire documentation and things will be quite clear with the help of this documentation, and try out different options available here. The next module that we will be learning about is the Colorrama module. So this is a very simple to use module, yet a very effective module when it comes to formatting your text and coloring your text while displaying it on the terminal. Since it is not a part of Python's inbuilt libraries, so let us first go ahead and install it using pip. All you have to do is open up terminal and type in the command pip install Colorrama. And this should install the Colorrama module for you in your system. Since I have already installed it, so I have this message requirement already satisfied. But in your case, this should work and Colorrama should be installed in your system. Now, first things first, so let's go ahead and import Colorrama. And from Colorrama, let's also import for back and style. So let's understand what these modules are. 4 represents the foreground color, that is the color of your text. Back basically means the background color or the highlight to your text, while style simply means the way you want to format your text, which can be bold, italics, underlined, etc. Now, the first thing that you have to do while using the Colorrama module is to use colorrama.init. So what this will do is that it will ensure that these modules for back and style function properly when you use them within your code by initializing the module. Now let's create a colored text. So let's use a print statement, and then we have to use for dot and then the color that we want to add. So let's say we want to add a red color to our text, and then let's pass some random text. Let's say it's hello world. Well, that's it. This will help us to display the text in red color. So let's execute this piece of code to find out how this looks. And there we go. As you can see that we have a text which looks red in color. Now you can also add a background color to this. And to do that, we have to once again move inside our print statement and use back dot the color that we want to add to the background. And let's say we want to highlight the text with the yellow background. So back dot yellow. So this will display the text in red color with a yellow background. Let's go ahead and execute this piece of code to have a look at that. And there we go. As you can see that the text is red while the background is yellow. Now let's go ahead and let's make our text a little brighter than what it looks now. In order to do that, you have to move inside your print statement and then type style.bright. So this will make the text brighter than what it looks now. So let's go ahead and execute this once again to have a look at the changes. So there we go. As you can see that the text now looks a little brighter, or you may even say that it is now bold. Well, let's see what happens if we go ahead and use another print statement and let's print welcome. Let's see what happens. And there we go. As you can see that welcome has also been printed in red color with a yellow background. So how do you avoid this? What if you want welcome to be a normal text? So what you can do is when you initialize Colorrama, inside in it, you have to pass auto reset equals true. Now let's go ahead and execute this and let's find out what happens. And now as you can see that hello world appears to be in red color with a yellow background. However, welcome does not have any background color or formatting added to it. So this is what setting auto reset to true does for you. Well, there's another library that works similar to Colorrama, and the name of that library is Colored. So Colored works pretty similar to Colorrama. However, it provides you more options to style your text. So let's go ahead and let's have a look at an example and find out how this works. In order to install the Colored module, you have to go ahead and install it using pip. So pip install Colored, and this should install the Colored module for you. Now the next task is to import certain classes from the Colored module. And these classes are the same as the ones within the Colorrama module. So from colored, let's import style, for, and back. Okay. Now let's use a print statement. And then all you have to do is use for dot and then the name of the color in which you want your text to appear in. So let's say we want it to be red. And then let's say we also want to add a highlight. So to do that, you have to use back dot and then the name of the color again, which you want to use as the highlight color. So let's say we want it to be yellow again. And now let's say that we want to make our text bold. So you have to use style dot bold. And then you have to pass in the text that you want to display. So let's say we want it to be hello world. That's it. Now let's go ahead and execute this and find out if this works or not. And there we go. As you can see that we have hello world printed on the output screen. which is in red color with a yellow background. Well, you can also underline your text. So all you have to do is go inside the print statement and add another property, which is style.underlined. And this will underline the text you want to display. There we go. As you can see that the text now is bold as well as highlighted. So that's how you can use the Colorrama and the colored modules. Well, now let's talk about escape sequences. Some terminals support the capacity to pass in unique escape sequences to modify the tone, color, and appearance of the content being printed. These escape sequences are also called ANSI escape sequences that got named after the ANSI standard that indicates their use. Thus, you can utilize built-in ANSI escape sequences to create colored content, as well as you can format the content, such as you can make it bold, underlined, or even italics. So let's have a look at these escape sequences and find out how they can be used to play around with the output text. So let us first have a look at the structure of the ANSI sequence that is used to print a colored text. So this right here represents the ANSI sequence. So this is how this goes. First you have an escape sequence followed by a square bracket, and this is the same in most cases. Then you have to specify whether you want to add the color to the foreground or the background of the text. That is, you want to color the text itself or you want to add a highlight color. So this denotes that you want to color the text, while this denotes that you want to add a background color to the text. Then you pass in the color code, which ranges from 0 to 255. And then finally you have M, which represents a stopper. Now this can be confusing, but once we have a look at an example, you'll understand how this works. So let's say that we have a text, which is hello world. Now we will be using the escape sequence upon this hello world text, and we will make this text blue. So right now, let's see what happens when we simply print text. So as you can see that it's a normal text which is printed in white and it's hello world. Now we will merge it with the escape sequence. So this right here is the escape sequence to add color to the text. That is, it will add the color blue to the text. Now let's see what happens when we execute this piece of code. As you can see that the text is now printed in blue color. Well, let's try to change the color code and let's see what happens. Let's say the color code is 2. Now let's execute this. And there we go. As you can see that now the printed output is in the green color. Well, you can also make your text bold with the help of the escape sequences. So the escape sequence to use bold is as follows. Let's use another print statement for this. And there we go. So you can see that we have used couple of escape sequences. Now this is because this is the starting escape sequence, which denotes that we want to start making this text bold, and then this denotes that we want to close the formatting style. That means anything which is printed after this closing escape sequence will be a normal text. So let's say we have a normal text, welcome. Now let's go ahead and execute this piece of code to find out what happens. And there we go. As you can see that this text right here is in bold, while the text following it is a normal text. So this is how you can use the escape sequences to make the text bold. Well, now let's have a look at how we can make the text underlined. So the escape sequence to underline your text is as follows. So this right here is the escape sequence which will help you to underline the text. Let's execute this to find out if this works or not. And there we go. As you can see that we have successfully underlined the piece of text that we want. Well, now let's have a look how we can use italics upon the text. So the escape sequence for that is as follows. And there we go. So this is the escape sequence which will make the text italic. Now let's execute this piece of code. And there we go. As you can see that we have successfully formatted the text the way we want. Well, what if you want to print a text which is red in color, it is bold as well as underlined. So what could be the escape sequence for that? Let's have a look. The escape sequence for that is as follows. So there we go. This is the escape sequence which will help to achieve the output that we want. Let's go ahead and execute this to have a look at the output. There we go. We now have hello world in red. It is bold as well as underlined. So this is how escape sequences work on certain terminals. Now please note that this will not work on every terminal that you are working upon. But since I'm using the terminal on PyCharm itself, so it has worked here. And you can try this out in different terminals as well to find out if they work or not. You'll find the list of the escape sequences in the blog itself. So you can go ahead and use them within your code to get the desired output in the terminal you want. With that, we come to the end of this video. I hope this helped you. If you have any doubts, please mention them in the comments below and I'll try my best to answer all your queries. Thank you.